My name is Nathan Joe. I'm a Chinese Kiwi, 2.5 generation Chinese New Zealander. I am a playwright and performance poet predominantly, but a general theatre maker, artist, writer sometimes as well. Most recently, we just finished a season of this work, A Short History of Asian New Zealand Theatre at Basement Theatre. Before that, I wrote a play, Losing Face, which was on at Q Theatre last year in 2023. And prior to that, I did a work known as Scenes from a Yellow Peril at the ASB Waterfront Theatre in 2022. Growing up in Christchurch was an interesting one as like an aspiring artist or a person at that time who was like, I kind of want to do art or write and tell stories, because there wasn't a community to hold that. It was really like a personal aspiration and like a lonely little secret I kind of kept to myself and would try to squirrel away at working towards. Moving up to Auckland was quite pivotal in shaping why I wanted to be an artist and who I wanted to make for. Around 2013, first discovering like Asian theatre in this city really shaped who I am today. A Short History of Asian New Zealand Theatre is a performance lecture meets sort of spin classes, which means it is an actor or a performer on a bike who is tasked with delivering this lecture that I've written, and this lecture contains a very condensed breadth of the last 30 years or so of Asian New Zealand theatre history. I was quite inspired by conversations I was having at the time about what it means to be an Asian theatre maker, and what does Asian art constitute, what does Asian theatre look like, and also the kind of recursive conversations and repetitive conversations I found I was having with different makers and peers around like who we are and what's come before us and how short our cultural memory is with these things. It's so poorly archived, it's so poorly kept that we as a culture, we as people, we as creatives often just forget things and we think we're starting from scratch. I feel so much more connected to it, understanding the little journeys it's been on, and understanding that basically anything that I've undergone as an Asian artist, Asian theatre maker, someone else has actually also experienced, also undergone, that there's a kind of collective shared trauma or experience through what it means to be an artist in this day and age, in this world. As Asian diaspora, our history is a really short one. It is in its infancy and it's still growing. There are still things that do inevitably repeat themselves in this short history, but also it's a history that contains multitudes of different communities, and sometimes that's a nebulous thing, but that nebulous thing of like Asian community is also quite a powerful thing, and those contradictions of like a community being pigeonholed as a community, but also a community being like a beautiful act of permission to be bestowed upon an individual that they didn't even ask for, is also a gift. We're never really alone when we do this. There is a whole kind of lineage that we are a part of and that we are connected to, and that we wouldn't be here without. And every act that we make, even if it seems sort of unsuccessful or lonely or derivative or too off-piste, actually contributes to the future of Asian theatre or Asian art as well, because we are all, our personal histories are part of these macro, bigger theatre histories, because we are artists. We are in the midst of history making as we make the show, as we live our lives. And I think that's quite beautiful and exciting.